Welcome to Wake Up to Your Life. I'm your host, Colleen Odegaard. My guest today played in the National Football League for 16 remarkable seasons. He has played in the Super Bowl 3 times. He has won Super Bowl ring. This guest was a real hard get for me. Perhaps you've seen him too. He is my co-host on the show Charlotte Today, as seen on WCNC. Again, my guest today, Mr. Eugene Robinson.
You know that's right, Lean.
Whom I lovingly refer to as Gene, and he calls me Lean.
I call it Lean. That's right. How you doing, Lean? I'm doing good today.
Great. Thank you for saying yes to doing this with me. Because people see this one side of you, you know, talking football. Yeah. But that's kind of what we're using as the impetus to have this conversation. I want to talk about lessons from the football field that apply to real life. Lessons that we can all learn from you after your illustrious career in the NFL. Okay. Can we start first by telling this great story that you've told me several times, and I never get tired of hearing about it. It's when you were up against Bo Jackson. Yes. Tell this story, and then on the other side of it, we'll explain the lessons learned from this particular event.
So we're playing in the Kingdom. Kingdom doesn't exist anymore, but if I'm playing for Seattle back in 1987, Bo Jackson is in the league. Bo Jackson is about 6'1"-ish, 230 pounds. Look like somebody made him in the art class. All right, this dude is absolutely beautiful, and he's the fastest individual, Lean, in the field. He's extremely fast. So
yeah, for those who don't know, you know, if you've been living in a cave and you don't know Bo Jackson, he was a beast.
He was. They had a commercial that Bo knows everything because he did everything. Baseball, basketball, he did everything. So anyway, we're in the Kingdom, and Bo gets the ball, and he's running towards me. And my favorite football player is Marcus Allen, who plays on that other side. Well, he's blocking for him. Well, I hit Marcus Allen. I knock him down. I'm like, yeah, I got Marcus down. And then I look up. Bo Jackson was running at me so dang fast, I tried to pick up Marcus Allen so he could take that hit because I didn't want him to run me over. Well, anyway, I was like, oh, did I make a hit? You got to go same foot, same shoulder. I moved out the way. I said, go same foot, same shoulder. Go ahead and hit him. And I tried to hit him. Lean, this dude hit me with his knee, and all I can hear was this. That was the back of my head hitting the turf because he was dragging me. And I'm like, oh, Bo, fall down. Please just fall down. And everything goes black. It goes black. Well, I get up. I have to turn my helmet because he twisted my helmet across my head. As I'm walking back, I realized that not only did he drag me, but I had this rug burn. We was on that awful carpet in Seattle. That rug burn, that all my skin was like nothing but to the white meat, if you will. So I'm walking back. People are booing me in the stadium. Boo, Robinson, you suck. Boo, 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 Robinson. And then we're in the Kingdom. And as I'm going back, the guys in my huddle go like this. Dude, Bo Jackson just ran you over, dude. So here's the part. Now, about 3 or 4 plays later, he gets the ball. He's running to the left. I'm like, somebody please tackle Bo. I don't want that smoke. Defensive lineman don't tackle him. Linebacker don't tackle him. The cornerback doesn't push him out, so I got to hit him again. And I'm like, dang it, I got to hit this cat again. And so what I did was I said, I don't care what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it tastes like, what it smells like. I'm going to hit this dude, right? So I hit him right in the face. He went out of bounds one way. I went out of bounds. No big deal. He gets up. He runs back in. To me, it changed the way I played football from that very day in 1987.
How so?
Because I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to have I wanted to run and hide when I was embarrassed. I wanted to run and hide. I wanted to go to the sideline. I wanted to say, hey, have a timeout, and there was no time for it. And then I was thinking about, man, do the mandate. Okay, I always talk about do the mandates of God. Do the mandates of God, what God asks you to do. Just go and do it. And I'll say, okay, do the mandate of football. What my coach wants me to tackle a guy. He wants me to go out and get after somebody. Well, just go ahead and do that mandate. And whatever it looks like, whatever it sounds like, let it be. And that was how I went and made a tackle. Now, when I made that tackle on the Bo, I went back to the huddle screaming, going, that's right. You saw it. That's right. I did not. Bo Jackson didn't even move, right? But to me, it changed everything. I started tackling people with such ferocity and such anger and such power and such I was picking people up and slamming them down because it changed the way I was thinking. And now it didn't matter if somebody ran me over or beat me because guess what? Do it again, Lee. I want to see you do it again. I want to see you do it again. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here. When you get hit and knocked out, I'm just telling you, Get back up. There's no shame in getting knocked down. The shame is staying there. Get back up. Bo Jackson taught me to get back up in front of thousands of people when he embarrassed me.
And there is the life lesson. That is the life lesson. And that's the point. Like you were saying, after he hit you and your helmet turned and you heard the thug, 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 and it was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And you felt embarrassed. The fact that 4 plays later, when you had to go after him again, you felt scared, correct?
Exactly. I was scared. No, I was scared and I didn't want to do it and I didn't want to be there at all. And I said to myself, I'm always talking about do the mandates of God, all right? Well, do the mandates of football. What does God expect from me in football? Well, to go out there and listen to my coaches and to obey the authority and what they tell me to do? Hey, you got to tackle that guy whether you like it or not. So I said, okay, I'm going to tackle him, and I don't care what it looks like, because sometimes it's not the best tackle. Sometimes it's not the best thing what it looks like, but I don't care what it looks like. Just go ahead and do it. And by doing it, I got the courage to do it. Mm-hmm. By going through it, I started to get the courage to do it.
Yeah, even if it's messy, doesn't matter what it looks like, even if it's messy, you just get back up.
Get back up.
So the lesson in that to the rest of us who have not played in the National Football League is what?
Well, everybody's have adversity. Everybody's going to have, okay, a job thing didn't work out for you. Or in school, it didn't work out for you, this and that. And you didn't get the classes that you like. And all right, and then you auditioned for something and it didn't work out, this and that. Look, everybody goes through stuff. Everybody faces adversity. What are you going to do? You want to cower in the corner? Get back up. The shaming is not like getting knocked down, because that's par for the course. Everybody gets knocked down. The shame is just staying there. Don't stay there. Don't wallow in it. Get back up and do it. Get back up. Do it to the best of your ability. Get back up. I just need you to stand. I just need you to stand. Get back up, all right? Because everybody's in the exact same boat. Get back up.
Preach,
yeah.
Genie Rob.
Yeah, I'm about to throw Bible verses on you too, whatnot. But yeah, you got to get back up.
Yeah, that's right. And I hope that everyone listening to us right now will remember that story of you and Bo Jackson the next time they fall, right? Ooh. And they think, I cannot recover from this. I'm humiliated, I'm embarrassed, or I don't want to risk it again.
And Lean, he hurt me physically too. Lean, I was hurt physically. He hurt me physically and emotionally. I was hurt physically and emotionally. And guess what? With all that adversity, I got back up 3 or 4 plays later and did the best of my ability.
And you did it.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's a good story. All right, we're going to take a break right now, but on the other side of this break, I want to talk about how that particular lesson has served you in your personal life as well.
Yes.
Good?
Sounds good.
Okay, more from Eugene Robinson. He's in the house. You're listening to Wake Up to Your Life. Welcome back to Wake Up to Your Life. Again, I'm your host, Colleen Odegaard, along with my dear friend and football star, Eugene Robinson. Such a tough get, as I mentioned earlier. I had to really work on this one, getting this guest in here today. Eugene, you were talking about, lessons that you learned in your 16-year career in the NFL and how you've applied a lot of those lessons to your life, your personal life, and what the rest of us can learn from those lessons. And you tell the great Bo Jackson story and how it taught you to get up even when it sucks to have to get back up again, even when your ego is bruised, you're physically hurt, whatever it is. How has that served you in other areas of your life, in your personal life?
Well, I'm going to start with, there was another story. We played the San Francisco 49ers, and it was called Hot Dog Gate. All right? John Madden is one of the best announcers, and he's calling the game as a preseason game. We're playing in San Francisco, the Seattle Seahawks. All right? I had a concussion. It's a preseason game, so preseason is not like regular season. All right? But you still have a thing that you can't eat food on the sideline. All right, you can drink all you want to, but you're not supposed to be eating food on the sideline.
You can't have a little snack pack?
No, you can't really eat snacks on the sideline.
Okay.
None of that stuff. So during that, at the third quarter, Cortez Kennedy, rest his soul, God rest his soul, former Hall of Famer too, he had these hot dogs that was in his pocket, in his poncho, right? He's wearing a big coat with hot dogs all stashed in there.
Is that a hot dog in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Yeah. So I got these hot dogs, and all this in his wrapper and whatnot. That is very funny, Lee. And so Rick Meyer, our quarterback, He's over there eating stuff. I'm like, hey, what is he eating, right? And I'm like, what is he eating? And he's eating a hot dog, right? So they're not going back in the game at all. It's a preseason game. So I go over there, and I'm like, hey, dude, what's going on? Yo, Gene, I got these hot dogs, man. All right, man, give me some hot dogs. So now we pass a helmet, and we pass this helmet back and forth, eating hot dogs, and now we having a good time. We didn't even know that John Madden had the telestrator out. He was circling us, moving lines and going like this. The hot dog is traveling from here to there and whatnot. He's got myself, Cortez Kennedy, and Rick Meyer full blast. So he's not even calling the game. He's waiting for the game to each play to end where he can go ahead and call what was going on with the hot dog. So his make it worse, Lee.
Oh, so I watched it on YouTube.
Yeah,
you sent me the clip. And it is
hilarious.
But John Madden is low-key obsessed with you guys eating hot dogs. He's not even talking about the game. He keeps going to, what are they? At first he thinks it's tobacco, chewing tobacco.
Yes.
And then he says, oh, it's a hot dog. And he won't stop talking about it. There you are. There's Eugene, like, thinking you're all.
Yo, you can't even escape the camera. The camera's always like following you and whatnot. You can't even escape the camera. And so the conversation for the next 3 to 4 minutes is nothing about the hot dog gate and why we shouldn't be eating hot dogs and they're passing it back and forth. And hey, didn't these guys already eat? Did they have pregame meal at 4 hours before the game? So it's going on. What makes it the worst thing is that we have a new coach, Dennis Erickson. This is his new first campaign. This is a big broadcast game. It's preseason, and all we can talk about is the hot dogs. And so now he's going to be, and we end up losing the game too, I believe. So we end up losing the game and two. So to make things worse, it's like, dude, we're eating hot dogs on the sideline and embarrassing the coach. And everybody knows it before we get back because we fly back to Seattle and it's all in the papers, hot dog gate. We didn't even know. We find out the next day that guess what? This is what happened. Alma hot dogs. What kind of kids eat Alma hot dogs? Fat kids, skinny kids, kids that do something. That's what they were doing to singing the song. And so, Lee, that was going on. And that taught me a very lesson. That Bo Jackson story now taught me a very, very lesson because I had to confront some things.
So let's talk about what you had to confront. The reason, so it's a big deal, right? It sounds like a funny story, and it is funny, right? You're eating hot dogs on the sideline, but a big no-no in your business.
Yes.
So you get back to Seattle, and as you mentioned, it's the headline on newspapers, Hot Dog Gate. It's a big thing. And then you and Cortez and the other guy, Rick Meyer, you're confronted by reporters, correct, to talk to you about Hot Dog Gate. And what happens? Cortez and Meyer...
They sneak out. So after practice, you're obliged to go ahead and talk to the media. Well, there's tons of media there, right there, tons of reporters there. And so when practice ends, Rick Meyer goes right by him, and Cortez Kennedy, I don't know how he did escape because he's the biggest guy I know. He got an escape artist. He went by him, and as I was finishing up catching the ball and doing some stuff, as I'm walking, I could have easily gone by them. But I had to hold myself accountable. It was more about the integrity of it. I've embarrassed the coach. I've embarrassed the city. For it, I did it.
You didn't feel like answering the questions, but you thought you had the thought in your mind that I need to hold myself accountable.
Exactly.
Okay, so then what did you do?
So as I was about to walk through, like the other guys kind of escaped through, I stopped there and I said, "All right, guys. Ask me your questions." I said, let me first start off by saying, hey, I embarrassed our head coach. We have a new head coach. I said, and I embarrassed him. And this is not the way you want to start a campaign, a preseason game, going in there talking about hot dogs when we should be talking about football. So I want to apologize to Coach, to Coach Erickson for that and the staff. And Coach Catlin, our entire staff, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to our teammates because now it takes away. I said, this is what we should be talking about. So I stopped saying my little monologue, and then they asked me questions. I stayed there, Lean, and I answered every question. And then I went inside to go take my shower. And I think that's integrity. I think that's part of like when, everybody messes up. Everybody's in the same boat. And when you're wounded, or whatever, I'm not going to go kick you down, but I'm going to be honest and say, hey, I need help, or I want to say like this, hey, I got to confront some things, and it may be very difficult. It's very difficult. I get it. I totally get it. And because of that, I know it's on it was only like $1,500 he charges us. I mean, I said this to the coach. I said, and whatever fine you levy against us, I will gladly pay the fine, this and that, whatever it is, because I am in the wrong. So we had to pay like maybe $4,500, something around that. But it only says that I had to hold myself accountable, Lee, and I couldn't just skate out, and I can't look the other guys in the locker room in the face, knowing that, all right, I did something wrong, and I'm not holding my hand up to it. So I held myself accountable.
A couple of thoughts as you share that. I think $4,500 for a hot dog. That's an expensive hot dog. That's one thought I have.
Yes.
Wasn't worth it, was it?
No, it wasn't.
But maybe it was because of what it taught you.
I had a concussion, Lee. I don't know what was going on.
I say Eugene deserved a little snack pack.
Yeah.
He had a concussion. Gosh darn it. He can eat a hot dog if he wants
That's
to.
right.
Those are Coco's rules. But
yeah,
an expensive hot dog. But, as you talk about holding yourself accountable, imagine for a moment, had you not faced the music, right? Had you not faced the reporters and answered all the questions and then apologized to your coach and to your teammates, how that would have felt to you inside of your body. I think it would have been very uncomfortable, and you wouldn't feel right with all those people.
Lean, I was one of the leaders on the team there, and so was Cortez and so was Rick Meyer. Just based on our position and based on our level of play, it was really elevated play. And if I don't go ahead and say something, I lose so much credibility in that locker room. I lose a lot of credibility with the guys. First of all, I'm telling guys to come to chapel service. I'm telling guys to come to Bible study, come to Bible study, come to Bible study, come to Bible study. And I don't stand up. I can't tell you to come to Bible study when I'm going ahead and not doing it. So from that standpoint, I was like, nah, I have to say something, and I have to stand up, because it's more than just a hot dog. It's the credibility in that locker room and being authentic with other people, that people take you seriously. If I say something and if you mess up, when you apologize to someone and you show contrition and you admit something, it sheds lights on things that it just uncovers the darkness. It uncovers all that stuff. It really does.
It takes the sting out of it. These things that we feel ashamed of, if we keep it secret and just push it down further and further and further, it grows and gets bigger in our lives, and it gets worse. But if you bring it to the light, if you say, yeah, I did this thing, I made a mistake, I messed up, I should not have done that, and I'm sorry, people can't use it to hurt you, and the secret it's not a secret anymore, it can't wound you anymore as well, don't you think?
Absolutely. And later on in my life, and probably the biggest game of my entire life, and we'll get into that, the biggest game of my entire life.
We can do it right now. Let's talk about it if you want to.
You're
going to the Super Bowl. You're playing for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes. So I went to 3 Super Bowls, and my Super Bowl where the one that really, to this day, gets at me, but I've been able to deal with it, is when the Atlanta Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. And that's when I got arrested for solicitation. Now, I always say that. I don't say arrested. I call it what it is. I was arrested for solicitation. Man, when you hear the heaviness of that lean, when I hear the heaviness of that lean, it's heavy, but it's true, and it's true. And so now I got to go ahead, because of that, I got to go ahead, my mom, my dad, first of all, my wife, all the stuff that I've done, I can easily, and I wanted to run and hide, because I got back in it and nobody even knew anything. And nobody even knew anything that Friday night, that Saturday night before the game. Nobody even knew anything that was going down. So I could have been in anonymity and kind of left and hung in the corner. And when it came out, I could have hid. The very first person I had to confront was my wife. And I confronted her and I told her. And I was like, hey, this is what happened. And of course she wasn't happy with that, and she was hurt. And, she's sure how selfish I am, and I can't believe this, during this time, family, friends, all that. And I was in there praying, and I had to tell my coach. He already knew, but he came down, my coach, Dan Reeves, came down. And what was the most odd thing during that time, I was waiting for him to lower the boom on me, Lee. I was waiting for him to say, Gene, I can't believe you did this. This is what he said. He got on his knees and said, can I pray for you?
Yeah. It's mercy, right? Extending grace to you, because Eugene, you are so you can't be reduced to your worst mistake. None of us should be.
When I look at it now, it was so liberating.
Mm-hmm.
And then he prayed for my family, and he said, if you want to play a football game, you can. He said, but it's not about football. This is about your life and who you are and what God has made you to be. He said, so I'll leave it up to you, Eugene, what you want to go ahead and do. And I ended up playing a game and didn't play particularly well and none of that stuff. But those lessons that I learned along the way of like, stand up, man. Stand up. Mm-hmm. I'm still a dad. I'm still a husband. I'm still all that. And then the ironic thing of all that, Lean, is that God, when I come to Charlotte and I end up playing for the Carolina Panthers, miraculously, because the owner said, I've always loved you and always loved the way that you play, and I wanted to see if I wanted you to play for my team, and I understood that I had a chance to go ahead and do something coming off to Atlanta, and I wanted to make sure I brought you here. That was Mr. Richardson. And he brought me here. But I started coaching high school sports before I started getting into television. I was coaching football, wrestling, and track. And I said, God, why would you put me in an industry here? Why would you put me in this coaching deal? And with all the stuff over the number of years I've coached, over 20-something years that I've coached, from football, wrestling, and track, and all the people that I've been able to either tell my story or just tell them about accountability and integrity, I can't even count the number of people that God allowed me to go ahead and influence. And to this day, it boggles my mind. And even though every time the Super Bowl comes up, I'll find a place to go in and cry. I'll go in my car, cry, and say, God, thank you for bringing me through that. And then go, okay, what's next? What's next? And so, I'm fallible. I get it. I am, but everybody is. And for me, that's why I have a Savior in Jesus Christ. For me, the forgiveness that God has extended to me, that was huge. For me, that was huge. And that's allowed me to go ahead and move past my failure. And if I could tell you this quickly, Lee, I remember doing an autograph session. I was in Wisconsin. Cats was sitting in the corner, and they were about to come up, and they was talking and whatnot. Dude comes up and said, man, I lost money on that Super Bowl because you dumbass can't, and he's letting me have it. He's giving me the business, Lee. And I looked over there with his friends, and he's pointing at me and stuff, and I said to him, look, I know that you came over here to hurt my feelings. I said, and you did. Mission accomplished. I said, dude, you did. I said, I'm sorry for messing up your Super Bowl and messing up the things that you had going on. I said, I really am. I said, but let me tell you where I'm at right now. And I was able to tell him about the forgiveness of God, the forgiveness of my wife, moving on, and what God has been doing in my life, this and that. And then he said to me, and I don't forget his name, he said to me, hey, I want to apologize to you because I came over here just to give you the business because I want my boys and make myself look good, and I'm pointing at you, this and that. I'm trying to give you the business. He said, I am so sorry. He said, would you forgive me? And I said, hey, man. I said, I forgive you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And then I move on, Lee.
It's such a good story. I hope that you have forgiven yourself. You know that you've been forgiven. I hope that you, and I do know that you cry every Super Bowl because you tell me that every year. That it's an emotional time for you, and I understand that. But I cannot thank you enough for doing this on Wake Up to Your Life. And I think in summation, if we can just boil it down to these couple things for people to remember, what I want them to take away from this conversation and you sharing your heart and your stories. And when you, as you said, stand up, get back up, right? You fall, get back up. Take accountability for when you screw up. And remember that we're all fallible. Don't be so quick to judge other people. It's so easy in this armchair culture we're in on social media to look and say, well, I would never do that. And I can't believe she did that. And I can't believe he cheated on his wife. And I can't believe she did this. We all have these moments. God knows I do too. Maybe that'll be the next episode. I'll confess to you all the terrible things that I've done, right? And there's plenty of them, that we can't be reduced to our worst moment. We want grace. We need to give it to other people in the ways that you have, Eugene, and the way that God has used you, and the way that you are sharing your story, and the way you use your life. You know I love you so much.
Indeed. Love you too, Lean.
You're one of my best friends.
You know that's right. Me and Lean. Lean and Gene. Gene and Lean. You got it.
Thank you so much. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this, because this is great.
Yeah.
We'll tell some funny stories too.
Yeah.
But Eugene, I love you. Thank you so much. And again, you can follow Eugene on Instagram. You can watch us together on Charlotte Today, weekdays at 11 and 2 p.m. on WCNC. And until next time, take care, wake up to your life, and know that I am rooting for you.